Hello and welcome back to more Hearts of Iron for Kaiserreich. I'm going to be trying out Switzerland today. Not gonna go syndicalist or anything though. France can fuck off, in fact.
Yeah.
Probably gonna go with Germany. It's probably what I'm gonna try and do. Although nationalist also seems to be an interesting path. They have no field marshals.
Great.
It's already trying to get me to demobilize. Not a very Swiss thing to do, demobilizing.
Great.
The state of Switzerland. The Swiss Confederation saw crisis in the 19th century. In several cantons, liberal powers prevailed, calling for more democracy and more centralism. This met the opposition of the Catholic, conservatively dominated cantons, who formed the Sonderbund in 1845. The Sonderbund War erupted in 1847, which saw the liberals as victors. In 1848, a federal constitution was ratified, turning the loose League of Cantons into a federal state with a new federal capital in Bern. The new constitution created new institutions like the Bundesrat, Federal Council, Federal Assembly, and Federal Court. Switzerland remained neutral throughout the Weltkrieg, although there were various domestic conflicts between German and French-speaking Swiss citizens. In addition, economic problems arose, completely surrounded as the country was by warring nations. The radical left gained a lot of support during that time, and in 1919, a strike in Geneva called for by the workers' movement attempted to push through major social changes. The attempt failed because of the fear of spreading of French syndicalism and its subsequent repression by Swiss government. But in its wake, social reforms were begun, bringing about higher wages and shorter workdays. In 1919, the system of proportional representation was introduced. The conservative whatever that word is, lost their majority, while the Social Democrats grew stronger. Into the 1930s, domestic politics were governed in response to the conflict between Social Democrats and Conservatives. The struggles between communities in Switzerland are now taking more political values. French speakers are more socialist, Germans more conservative, and Italians more clerical. Will the rising belligerents in Europe have consequences on the neutral confederation? Onwards! The answer is yes, it will. George Outremer visits England. In response to an invitation from Birmingham to create a new socialism, local syndicalist agitator George Outremer, leader of the Radical Union National Party, has left the nation in order to pursue the tenets of a new totalist ideology. A longtime fan of Mussolini's national syndicalist movement in Italy, Outremer's political leanings have become increasingly more radical, and his supporters more numerous. His advocacy for an even more extreme form of syndicalism can only bring further unrest to the nation. And we get 2% more totalism. Well, first I think we should curb these damned syndicalists. My God! Black Monday hits Switzerland. The recent run on the Berlin Stock Exchange is not without consequences for Switzerland. The Swiss economy relies heavily on German trading, and the collapse of the German markets has sent immediate shockwaves through the Swiss economy. We must act if we are to save our economy from total collapse. The horror! Oh! What is this? Compliance is fairly high. Farmers hit by Black Monday. With the German economy in free fall, the prices of many agricultural goods have fallen with it. Swiss farmers, heavily reliant on trade with Germany, have been hit hard almost overnight, and many have taken to the streets to protest the government's inaction over the issue. The BGB, who represents the interests of many Swiss farmers, and social conservative KKP, have begun wavering in their commitment to the current governing alliance of conservative and market liberal parties. This isn't good. Don't worry, I am banning the syndicalists. KKP and BGB leave that block. I don't know how to say that. The informal alliance of the popular market liberal FDP with the BGB and KKP conservative parties has long stood as the most stalwart of Swiss political institutions, working to ensure that conservative interests are satisfied and that aggressive radical socialist and syndicalist parties remain marginalized. Today, that relationship was severed, as the Catholic Conservative Party and the Party of Farmers, Traders, and Independents announced their loss of confidence in FDP's ability to handle the economy in the wake of the Black Monday disaster. With Switzerland's greatest political parties beginning to fight amongst themselves rather than against socialism, there will be room for smaller parties to make their move. We're in a precarious situation. Restoration of democracy in Australasia. Well, that's good. Past few games, they have been, not democratic. Occupation of Haute Savoy. In 1815, at the Congress of Vienna, Switzerland, at the Congress of Vienna, period, the period is hidden by that A, Switzerland was given the legal right to maintain the neutrality of Haute Savoy in exchange for relinquishing all official claims on the region. During the Weltkrieg, as France was falling to syndicalist revolutionaries, the Swiss government found it necessary to send soldiers to protect the region from the chaotic violence of the time. Shortly after, the true French government was exiled to Africa, and Switzerland has maintained her military occupation of the region until a time that France returns to the mainland to reclaim it. This, of course, has not sat well with the current government in Paris, which has actively attempted to reclaim the province. We will fulfill our legal mandate. Alright. Next, let's reverse the economic downturn. Referendum. Ban syndicalist unions. It is no secret that syndicalism has been spreading constantly over recent years inside of the nation. It shares a large border with the syndicalist Commune of France, and the pains of the Geneva massacre still fester in Romandy. This referendum is an extreme measure to combat this crisis at the root, and ban the syndicalist unions from the nation entirely. This move is sure to be controversial, especially with the French Commune. Should we support this referendum? Extensive campaigning. Union Nationale rally. Earlier today, French syndicalist radicals Union Nationale held a rally in the streets of Geneva against the willful suppression of the Swiss workers by the current government. While such a fringe rally would normally be of no concern, the sheer amount of people in attendance has caught the government's eye. Thousands of people were in attendance, seemingly hanging on every word of the main speaker, Georges Outremer. It seems that syndicalist sentiment is more prevalent in the West than we previously thought. We'll have to keep an eye on them. Electoral gridlock in Britain. Interesting. Okay, I am 4 days away from this. Do I take the stability hit or lower my conscription? I can always raise it back up. The Syndicalist Union referendum succeeds. Despite strong Syndicalist support in the western regions of Switzerland, the referendum succeeded. All existing Syndicalist trade unions are now dissolved, and none are legally allowed to form again. This is sure to raise the ire of the French. Wonderful. That mobilization. Forgot to set this. Yeah, let's do that. So I am as a constitution. Interesting. I've always only seen them ever do the coup. Coup. The Regency is finally over. Oh, hello. They formed Poland and Lithuania this time. I've never seen them do that. I've done it myself before, but I've never seen them do it. Nice. Swiss National Day. Swiss National Day. August 1st. Since when do I have a lisp? Go on. I'm not even gonna bother reading it now. Can't speak. Referendum. Combat the economic crisis. The recent disaster that was Black Monday has thrown the nation's economy into a dangerous downward spiral. Excuse me. There are actions that the government can and will take to combat this crisis, but this referendum is to decide whether the government can take extraordinary action outside of its usual power in order to resolve the crisis swiftly. Should we support this referendum? Extensive campaigning. I need more war support. The economic referendum succeeds. Wonderful. That's happening. Oh, Belgium's done this thing where they... Belgium returned. They couldn't stay away for long. Eugene Bircher speaks against syndicalists. Eugene Bircher, an influential colonel in the Swiss military, made a speech today in front of the National Council, wherein he pled with the council to slay the beast that was the syndicalist movement, speaking within the nation. Well, I've already done that. Eugene Bircher leads a paramilitary pro-German society that has been gaining influence among prominent Swiss military officers and politicians. The colonel has been increasingly vocal, both in public and private, of his distaste for syndicalist and socialist movements in Switzerland, and his opinion holds considerable sway. Increases national populism. Actually, I don't need to crack down on syndicalists. Because... Nothing. Yep, I don't need to do it. I banned them all! Wait, hold up. Jabal Shamar won the fucking Mad Lads. I want... What's gonna happen now? John N. Garner? Who the fuck is John N. Garner? Conservative Democrat, the Social Conservatives. What does this mean for America? Norway has joined... Yeah, they want syndicalist. Cowards. Germany's not making as much steel as before. Sweden. Italian democracy survives. Good for them. Oh, I need world tension at least 50% or to be at war in order to get rid of the effects of Black Monday completely. Yeah, there's no standoff in America. I think that electing John Garner is how you prevent the Civil War. Yeah, this is one interesting game. No Civil War in America, Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, and Jabal Shamar wins the war. What's next? Communist France willingly goes away from communism? I don't think that can happen. I don't think that last one can happen. Yeah, let's switch to export focus.